Greetings, everyone. Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing today? Today is the day that the sun rules, and the sun is currently in Aquarius. We are in Aquarius season. Move Osset. Sorry, thank you. So we're in Aquarius season. How y'all feeling today? We are now, I think this is our peace, Bella, the retail therapist. Thank you. Hi, Missy. We are in Aquarius season, like I was saying, and we have been doing this nodal work since for about two weeks now. I think it's been about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I personally am I feel a little disoriented today. I am experiencing a lot of energy coming in, and it actually, since I've been doing work to embody the energy, it it makes me feel a little bit anxious, like there's something in me that I'm not familiar with. You know what I mean? It's like a vibration, and I'm not yet learned how to just hold it, to just be with it, to just allow it. So I find that I'm jittery and moving from here to here and looking for something to do and thinking, and then I have to bring myself back to, okay, come into your body, breathe in, clench your perineum, like you're gonna hold your pee, rub your feet. I'm doing something to get myself in my body. Last night I went for a long walk. I've been doing breath work and meditation because you feel like, yeah, it's like you drink too much coffee. Exactly. That's exactly it. That's exactly the feeling. That's it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, and Aquarius is the energy of the rebel. It's inviting us into a new way of being. Aquarius is also the genius. So if you are cultivating your own divinity and your own sovereignty, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, like Capricorn. The moon is in Capricorn right now. And remember, I always say the moon is reflecting the light of the sun. So both Capricorn and Aquarius is traditionally ruled by Saturn. So this is absolutely about structures and focus, and it's like the groundwork. Like I live in an apartment, but this is my space. But underneath the walls, there are beams, there is wood and metal and nails. The structure is there to support the foundation. The foundation and the structure support the actual building. And we have that within our own selves. That's called our skeletons. Our skeletons are the nuts and bolts and bones of our body, of our system, of our, right, of who we are. And with the moon in Capricorn and the sun in Aquarius, we want to really be like, Aquarius is your blueprint. That's what Aquarius is. Capricorn is your foundation and your structure, and Aquarius is your blueprint, which is similar. But what has occurred in the last, several hundred years, even though we have a blueprint, it was hijacked, and we were all taught to be this sort of way that is outside of who we are in our blueprint. So now that we're coming into the age of Aquarius, into another era, that blueprint is still there. It's not lost. It just has to be recovered. It just has to be uncovered and tended to and given some energy and life to, so that you can begin to access your blueprint and who you truly are. It's totally available to you. Like, that is what this is about. Those of us who are alive on the planet at this time are all encoded with the blueprint that was overridden at birth, generally, for the most part, to be awakened now at this time on the planet. Whew, goodness gracious. So Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this class. For those of you who've been following me for a while, you understand what I'm up to. But it's really, there's a new audience coming, and it's mostly on TikTok and YouTube. And I see I have a lot of new followers here too. So let me just talk about what I'm up to. So I am Monique. I'm also known as the Moon Mama. And my mission, my life mission is to assist women for the most part, but anybody who's really interested in activating their feminine power. That could be women, that could be men, because we all have feminine power. And so my work is to help people access, define, and live into their feminine power, because without it, we don't have anything. If we're going to live in this reality in the way we're meant to, which is through consciousness, imagination, our connection to nature, the environment internally and externally, if we're going to live into that, we have to let go of our old ways of being. They have to be deconstructed. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to support people in deconstructing their old ways of being, identifying it, naming it, transmuting it, healing it, and then activating it, reactivating it into power, into magic, into your blueprint, into who you're meant to be. That is what my job is. And it's a tricky thing, because to traverse an old experience and then bridge that into a new experience is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the faint of heart. It is a warrior's journey. It is a hero's journey. So I'm here to support those who are up to really becoming themselves, like I am. And what it means is that you have to really die to your old ways of being. Now, I was telling you on a few videos ago how, we've been given so much to be afraid of. And what I have learned, and you guys know, I come from the bottom, okay? in this system. I come from a mother who was a prostitute, and a father who was a pimp, and a grandmother who was a devout Christian, and another grandmother who was the product of rape. And I come from all manner of human chaos, all the things. And what I have discovered as I have done the work to transmute, all the fears are just illusions. They are not real. And I'm saying this because many of us are afraid. What has occurred is we have inherited the fears of our ancestors, of our foremothers and fathers, and those fears live in our body, and they keep us controlled like a crab in a bucket. It's like, oh, if I do this, then you're afraid you're going to lose the approval of your family, or you're afraid you're going to look too strange, or you're afraid, and all of those energies, those fears, those what ifs, those uncertainties are there because you come from people who did not have the capacity, the tools, the resources, the information to transmute the energy. So the energy got carried over to you. It got carried over to you. And now you are here. You are the one that gets to undo your great grandmother's fear of having children because they might be killed by white people or hanged. You are the one that gets to reconcile all of those behavior patterns, beliefs that had our ancestors trapped in psychic conditions, physical conditions, and spiritual conditions that didn't allow them to fully express themselves. But they had to endure that in order to pass it down to you. Like, there was no mistake. That's the thing that this work has taught me, is that there's not been a mistake. We believe that we are in this system that is American. It's a mistake. It's not a mistake. It actually is designed to help us build power. The levels of oppression and suppression and racism and all that sort of stuff, all of that is literally suppressing our power, which is still there and available. It's not gone anywhere. We just need to learn how to cultivate it, which is my job. My job is to help us learn to cultivate those ancestral codes and patterns that got suppressed, that they call junk DNA, that are now necessary for us to live on the planet as this reality is changing from one experience into another. Yes, exactly. So much compassion. So much compassion. Absolutely. Oh, you all. Wow. Okay. So, with the moon is now in Capricorn, and last month we had a new moon in Capricorn. And now the moon is in where it was when we had a new moon in Capricorn last month. So, this is the first moon in Capricorn since the sun was, so the sun, when the sun and the moon are in the same place, that's a new moon. So the sun was in Capricorn last month, and when the moon came into Capricorn last month, we had a new moon. So now the sun is in Aquarius and the moon is back in Capricorn. So we're literally building light in our systems. The thing that is such a powerful understanding for me in this reality, now that I have done this work, is that it is a spiral inside of you. What we are doing is we are doing the work to heal our lower root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus. Your root chakra is the energy that anchors you into this reality to allow you to feel safe and cared for, money, all of that sort of stuff, but safety. Your sacral chakra is your ability to create, the dance between the masculine and the feminine. It's where our sexual energy is, but it's not just sex. It's the dance between the masculine and the feminine that creates everything. And that's not just through physical sex, that's through intimate and emotional connections as well. We are always in this creative process. The solar plexus is your will. So the root chakra is Saturn. The root chakra is Saturn. The sexual energy is Mars, your second chakra. Your third chakra is your will center, your solar plexus, which is the sun. And we are mastering that. So the sun is your personality, Mars is your sexuality, and Saturn is your karma, right? So we want to master those three levels so that we can come up through the heart to the throat to the first eye and the crown. So this is all heaven, and the lower levels, when we're stuck down there, is hell. And so when we continue to have relationships where we're unfulfilled, where we continue to have jobs where we're not actually able to express our creativity and doing things that don't align, that's because something at the lower levels are blocked, trapped through your own experience or your ancestry or whatever. And that is what we're up to doing. All right, y'all. Oh my God. I feel so emotional today. So what took me on this journey was that I grew up in the church. I grew up underneath the church. Like, I was a devout Christian at church Wednesdays, Sundays, at church, at church. I just lived at church. And I remember when I was about 3 or 4 years old and my grandmother taught me about Jesus. I remember her teaching me about Jesus and me thinking at that young age, I felt it. I'll never forget it, because I was like, wow, how did I think of that? But now, when my grandmother told me about Jesus, some voice inside of me said, oh, if he's going to do it, then I don't have to do it. That is so peculiar to me. At that young age, I thought, oh, if he's going to do it, I don't have to do it. I felt the same thing when they taught me about Martin Luther King. I was like, oh, well, if he's freeing the Black people, then I don't have to do it. That's really weird to me that that's what I thought. And now that I'm learning all of this stuff, and I realize that it was all being taught to us incorrectly. So I still have to do it. I'm like, oh, because I really, at that young age, I was like, oh, like I remember thinking, oh, I'm here. So now I get to just go have fun. I get to go just do my thing. And then I realized, like, oh no, this stuff doesn't work. This stuff isn't right. Like, oh, so I still have to teach it. And but then I had to learn it because I was like, well, how does it actually work? And now that I have learned it, I understand the way to access this energy is the sun is our masculine energy. The moon reflects the light of the sun. That's happening inside of us also. So when I was young and in Christianity, I realized they weren't teaching us correctly. And then I went to school and I studied at Lincoln University. That was I was like, okay, I'm not still not being taught. Then I went to Howard University, which is where I graduated from. I got my BA there. I studied politics and history, and I learned a lot of valuable things, but I didn't learn the real power of how to access our true selves. And so after I studied at Howard University, I came home and I got a job as a receptionist at a law firm. And to try to figure out what I was going to do, I thought I was going to go to ministerial school or something, but then I was like, no, that's not going to work. So then I went and got a master's degree at the University of Santa Monica, where I actually did begin to learn spiritual principles that supported me in the process of learning how to heal. And then I also studied with Michael Beckwith at Agape, where I learned a lot of spiritual technologies and how to heal spiritually. So I've been doing all of that for studying all of these things. And then I started studying astrology, where I was like, oh, this is the key. This is it. Like, the astrology gave me a foundation for how to share the spiritual information. Like, the spiritual information without astrology, to me, is not, you're just still blowing in the wind. But the astrology is the foundation, because your system, your body is a system of astrology, is a system of what is projected in the heavens is inside of you. So when I got that, I was like, oh, and then I had to practice. I had to practice it for a decade. I literally practiced for a decade, practiced with people, on myself, on my family, on anybody who would say yes. I practiced. And now I really, really get it. And so now I can teach it and I can support people and how to go backwards in order to go forwards, how to go in order to go out, how to go down in order to go up, because reality is not what we think it is. This is a hologram. This is not a real experience. Everything that we perceive with our eyes comes from inside of us, and it is all an illusion. The real world is just energy. It's just energy, and we are an expression of the energies that were present in the cosmos at the time of our birth. And so we are meant to function in the way that the cosmos lives within us, except that got hijacked. That got hijacked in this Western world. And we were sent to school and taught ABCs, numbers, but not anything about yourself. You're taught to keep the system alive so that your energy is being drained, but to project everything external and not to understand that everything is actually inside of you. And that has been the last leg of what we call the Kali Yuga, which is the dark ages. And we're coming out of the Kali Yuga now and into the golden age. And it's the biggest leap humans will make from the dark to the light. We are the most profoundly powerful generation of people to leap from one dark age era into light. It's a mighty jump. It is a mighty fucking jump. And we're all feeling it in the ways that we are. And so that's what we're up to doing. That's what following these nodes are going to help us do. They're going to help us activate the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, Kaliuga. Yes, Kali with a K. And you can go look it up on YouTube. There are books on it. I'll post, Kali Yuga. Exactly. Thank you with a Y. Thank you. And so now we're going into the golden age, and we are the generation of people who we're literally changing from the inside out. I remember when I started doing this work many, many, many years ago, and I had a prayer partner who was 20 years older than me. So she was like the age I am now, and I was like 32 or something like that. And she was like 50 something. And she started going to India, and she came home and she told me that we're going to change. Like our bodies are going to change. We're going to morph. And it scared me so much that I like, she freaked me out. It really scared me. It really scared me. And we're still very close today, but we stopped being prayer partners. She was ahead of me. And now I get it. Now I understand. And it's up to us to lean into it. It's not going to happen to you without you being open to it and receptive. It's not going to force itself upon you. It's consciousness. You have to be willing. You have to go willingly. And those who do not, it's all good, because they will just die and reincarnate into a younger body. And when they come back, we will all be further along. And the energy is what it is. So you either benefit from the energy now, or go back to the end of the line and start again. But nobody can go forward unless they're activated the energy of the golden age within them. And in order to activate the energy of the golden age within you, we're going to be living longer. We're going to be it's going to be more like the movie The Avatar. We're going to be more like Avatarian type people, where we are telepathic and less reliant on the external reality in the ways that we have been. And when people aren't opened, they'll just die and be born again as a baby. And then when you come back as a baby, the world will change. We're moving forward. So everyone's going. That's the point. Nobody's going to be left behind. You might not come in the body that you're in, but you're coming. Because we're still at the very early stages of this. So, there are billions of people on the planet, 7 billion people. And, right now, maybe 1% of us might be on this journey, right? So everybody has to come. So everybody's coming, whether they like it or not, because it's a portal that everybody's being pulled through it. That's all I can say. Everybody's being pulled through the portal. And you can come willingly, or you can come kicking and screaming. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. That's why some of us are getting the flu often. Yes, frequent. Yes, exactly. The light codes are being upgraded. So let me see if I can answer. If I see divine root chakra, sacral, Mars. Yes. Now we are bringing the light up and in. Yes. It is a great time to be alive. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter who the president is. And I actually feel like, because Donald Trump is the president, one of the things that I noticed when I was political, because I used to be very political, it was that when we had a Democratic president, people get lazy when a Democrat is in office. And the Republicans have been casting and doing all manner of work for years to create this. They have been working. They are like ants. They come together, they work, and it doesn't matter what they believe, or they just do it. And so, it doesn't. And then when the Republicans are in office, then it seems like the Democrats work more. But the reality is that they're all corrupt. They're all on the same team, and that none of them are. They're all obsolete. They're all done. Let's just say it that way. They're all done. I was just thinking, what a great way to celebrate agape, since I can't make it today. You're my agape today. Thank you. Oh, I love that. I always felt that the teaching was not right. Yeah, the teachings were not right. I love your journey, and thank you for sharing it here. Of course, we are an expression of what was in the cosmos when we were born. Yes, exactly. Totally hijacked. Infinite potential spirit. That's why some of us are getting the flu. Yeah. Okay. So with that, today, with the sun in Aquarius, today is the day that the sun rules. And remember, the moon reflects the light of the sun. The moon is in Capricorn. We're about to have a new moon in Aquarius on, I think we're having it on Wednesday morning at like 4:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. So remember, these are both two Saturn ruled signs, and Saturn is currently in Pisces, which is all about our imagination. So what's happening right now is our imaginations are coming to life, like the things you've been imagining, the things you've been desiring, the things you've been focused on. Now here's the challenge: if you've been focused in fear and worry, then that's coming to life. But if you have been focused in love, you're loving yourself and honoring yourself and creating yourself and harmonizing your energy and healing yourself, then that is coming alive. I have been having the most remarkable experience in the last few weeks. And, I am someone who I pretty much live in isolation. It's very interesting. Like, to do this work, I've had to come to a lot of solitude. And, I have a community that I have been with for the last couple of years, and that has been online. And I have a couple of people that I talk to on a regular basis. One of them being Gabrielle Zelina, and I have a need but I'm mostly with clients and by myself. And lately, a friend of mine was like, let's hang out. And I was like, no, my house is dirty. Like, I felt like I didn't deserve anything. And they were like, I'm going to come and help you. And when I tell you they have been helping me clean my house, I've lived here for 13 years. And I have been studying. So I've collected a lot of stuff because I've been studying and learning and practicing and herbs and concoctions and just all of that. And I didn't know how to get myself out of that mode. I didn't know how to get myself out of the mode of being a profound student. I love being a student. I love it. I cannot learn enough. I have a Gemini moon, right? So I'm always excited to learn. But now the energy is changing, and it's like, okay, you learned enough for now. You've learned enough for now. So let's get moving. And I was just stuck. And I was saying to Spirit, I was walking around my house like, I don't know how I'm going to shift this. I have no idea. And when my friend came and said, I will help you. And when I tell you, and they are a Virgo, right? And I'm a Virgo. I am in heaven because I grew up with a woman who was depressed and a pack rat. My Virgo energies of being really organized and clean externally never got cultivated. And they are here cleaning the walls and the floors and the corners and organizing. And I am in heaven. Like, literally, I'm like, oh my, like, I'm enjoying it so much. Like, I'm enjoying the gloves and the hot water and the sponges, and we listen to chanting and we clean. It's so amazing. And when I tell you, my body is beginning to shift, and it's like my world is starting to come together in a way that it wasn't time yet. Could Aries also be affected in that way? Because I would have to look at all the other stuff in your chart. I can't just know that it's the Aries energy. Like, you might be a 6th house Aries, and then that makes sense because you know what I mean. It's all the placements too. It's not just general. I of course I know all of my placements, so I understand what's going on with me. And so what I'm beginning to witness is that through my intention and devotion, the universe sends to me what I need to move forward, even if I don't understand it, because I would have never said yes to somebody coming in my house and cleaning my closets and underneath my stove. I would have never. I would be too embarrassed. I just would be mortified, right? And when my spirit said, say yes, I was like, okay, shit. And I said yes. And it's very important for us to know that the universe is alive around you, and you're being supported and directed. You're being guided. You're being led. Yes, of course you can schedule an astrological reading with me. I'll send you my link. I'll send it to you. If you send me a message, I'll send you the link and you can book it. Yeah, but we are being guided and directed, and everything is alive. But in order for you to experience the aliveness of the universe, you have to let go of that logical mind, that rational mind that is, constantly trying to figure things out based upon the external, based upon how much you have or what you don't have. Like, I have witnessed me having $2 in the bank and eating every day and rent getting paid because the universe is like, let us prove to you that we are with you and we are alive in the invisible realm and orchestrating your existence from the invisible realms, so you can rest, so you can breathe deep, so you can have faith, so you can trust the process, so you can allow yourself to experience the sovereignty of your code. And it is a remarkable experience. It is so remarkable. And so I just encourage us, as we're coming in this moon in Capricorn, which is the first moon in Capricorn since the sun left Capricorn, which is about authority, your authority, the systems. So here's what authority is. It's like, what structures are in place that have the dominant authority? For instance, right? Your body is wired in such a way that, your knees only bend forward. That is a function of authority. Like, you can only go in a certain way because of the structure of your body. Like, its flexibility and its gives you the authority to really only go forward. You cannot easily go backwards. It takes something else. You have to give your power away. You have to literally give it away. You can give it away unconsciously, but the power is inside of you. So, the authority, like, if you drink water, your body is going to take that water in, move it through all of the organs and take what it needs out of it and then release it. It's not going to hold the water because the system is designed for the water to be released. It is the authority, right? Like, this comes in and this goes out. That's the authority. And so that's Capricorn. So we are now coming into our foundations being erected, like we're building foundations. And now we're going to have a new moon in Aquarius, which is also ruled by traditionally Saturn, which is your blueprint. It is your blueprint. And the thing about Aquarius is that it's the mind of God. So how do you access your blueprint? By asking the divinity within you. For me, I did it by asking, who am I? Who am I asked every day, all day for thousands of days. I swear to God. Could I have done it for thousands? Yes. So that, like, years. Who am I? I know they tell me my name is Monique. I know they tell me this is the earth realm. I know they tell me I should do this and I should do that. But who am I really? Who am I for real? For real, though, who am I? Just the question alone with sincerity will begin to garner answers. The question alone with the sincerity that you're somebody else, you're somebody other than what they told you you are. The question alone will garner results because I am really clear that I have a new identity. I don't share all of that here because I don't feel like it just is too much to do. But in my more private experiences and private work with people, I do share because none of us are who we think we are. We're under a spell. We're under a spell. And when we understand that we're under a spell, we can open up to new possibilities of who we really are. We think we're Americans. We think we're Black people. We think all of these things because that's what we've been told. That's been the trap put in place to keep us stuck. And now, as we're moving into the golden age, it has to be lifted. It has to be broken free. So Aquarius is, who are you really? Who are you for real? Like, when I started to get the information on who I really was, I was literally laid out. I was like, I did not expect this. Like, whoa. Okay. Okay. And so, maybe at some other point I'll start talking about that, but we're here to break free from this old mindset, this these ideas of separation, of limitation. We are unlimited beings. We are cosmic beings. We have been here many lifetimes. The planet is billions of years old, you guys, and all we've been given is a 2,000-year-old history. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make a bit of fucking sense that the planet is 2,000 years old. It's a closed system. You cannot leave this planet. Your death does not mean you left this planet. Your death means that this game that you're playing in this body is finished, but the energy that is within you continues on. And what is it going to do if you can't leave this system? So the work for us this lifetime is to lighten up, to really lighten up, to let go of the stories about your mother. You have to, the baggage you're carrying, bag lady, what your mama did, what your daddy did. You got to let all that shit go so your energy can rise. You've got to let it all go so your energy can rise. You can't get free from a system where you are bogged down in ideas and concepts and constructs that keep you anchored in lies, that keep you anchored in things that are untrue, that keeps you trapped in the lower realms. You're trapped in the lower realms, so you got to get light so you can rise your energy up through the and up here. So, and that's the same. And when you're doing it in your body, you're also doing it in the cosmos. And when you drop the body, then you're able to leave. You're able to be light enough to escape this closed system. But you can't do it if you are heavy hearted, sad, depressed, at war within yourself. You'll be stuck. So that's what we're up to. We're up to doing the work to heal ourselves, to lighten ourselves up so that we can actually activate our blueprints and be who we truly are meant to be. And with that, I love y'all so very much. I'm so very grateful. Thank you to all the new followers on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok University, Hillman Talk College. I love being a participant in this. I have been teaching classes. For those of you who know me, I have been teaching classes here for a long time. And I am really grateful that we are recognizing the value of breaking the paywall and beginning to offer the information and the technology at no cost so that we can all win. You know what I mean? Like, I trust in the abundance of the universe, and I know that my needs will be met as I am in service to the greater good, not just for myself, but for everyone. And my needs will be met. It always works out. I'm always taken care of. And so with that, I'm deeply grateful to be a part of this community of people who are bringing their wisdom, their technologies into a free exchange so that we can all win. All win. Thank y'all so very much. For those of you who want to get readings, send me a private message, or you can go look at my website, healwithmoonmama.com, for readings and coaching. Next month, Gabrielle Zelina and I will be starting 13 Moons again. That will be a private experience, a private class. It's not my technology to share at no cost. And so, but what we're offering at no cost is very valuable. And for those of you who want to be in a more intimate experience in private groups and, private conversations and all that kind of stuff, then you can come and join Follow the Sun. And we have a much more connected community of women who are there doing the work and meeting and private thing, and my work is to help us heal so we can access our magic, because that's who we are. We're magical beings. We are magical beings, and the power is within us. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. Bye-bye.